this is Dr. Von Mad. We're back. We're about to do the painting on this mammoth. So, I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to start with him as probably the next one up. Where we got? Oh yeah, here we are. We're going to be going with a little dolphin gray. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a coat slightly less dense than what we used with the black paint, because we're not trying to coat him, we're just trying to kind of hint at it. So, to that end, get our friend the chisel brush, if I can get to it here. And hopefully... Alright, that one's going to have to be. Apparently didn't get down enough in there. Let's see what we got. Alright, we're going to go with this one. I have no idea what we'll call this one. I have to ask Mike. He knows. Alright, so what we're going to do is going to get just a dabble of that. And we're going to come up here. As you can see, I've got my paint thing. I'm just going to kind of do that with it. Set this back over. And just kind of do this over the top of it. You're kind of wanting to get the... Because remember, we're going to be varnishing this and doing all sorts of stuff to it. It's interesting. Mammoths, historically, were kind of a reddish brown color, and we know that because people have found their bodies frozen in ice. It's kind of cool, isn't it? You think about it. They found them frozen in ice. That's very cool. Now, gotta make sure we tap this whole thing down. And as you can see, the color will lighten up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go over it with a little of this dolphin gray. And be very gentle, because you're dealing with these tusks here, and the tusk on this thing, unlike the actual mammoths, which were like 12 feet long or something, and big around as my leg, thereabouts. I might be exaggerating a little bit, I don't think so. You know, those are very delicate. They were all made, this is made mostly out of one piece, and I think I've had to put another leg on it. Alright, we got a spot right there that needs to be covered in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dab a little bit more right in here, and just kind of waffle it out here. Apparently there was one spot on his leg that I missed. Alright, now gotta get a little bit of this here, just a pinch, and just barely tap it. Now this is going to be a fairly long project. I'll probably be doing a few other little projects in the interim, but we are going to try to, I want to try to do all of these on camera if I can. See, now we kind of got a nice grayish color. We're going to take that a bit lighter, because ultimately I want this mammoth to be kind of a white. Because mammoths lived in the Ice Age, so why not white? But instead, I'm going to make him green. Well, reasons. Alright, let me see here. Let me get me a little bit of this here. And we're going to come back over here, as you can see. Wipe that down. And we'll go ahead and pull my glasses off, because this is close in work, and I only use that at a distance. Let's have a little bit more. There we go. The stripe's going to be a bit of an issue, so I really don't want stripes on our mammoth. but we'll figure out a way around it in a minute. Alright, now we'll go ahead and just kind of white him all over. I forgot to gray up his underside, but that's not going to be as readily seen, so that's not going to be as big an issue as one might think. Get a little bit more of this, because I'm going to try to maybe do a couple of little dry brush coats over this, because I want him to be very obviously white. Now, I could have gone in and this kind of, like I'm going to do the dinosaurs, just probably just go up and straight up coat them. But I wanted the mammoth to kind of have like almost like an ivory feel to it. Or like, you know, something carved, something tribal. It's kind of what I was aiming for. And somewhere in the house a battery is going dead. And I'll find out what that is when I'm done filming. Yeah, you guys have no idea just how therapeutic this is. Because anymore, like I said, I can't get out and romp and stomp and all the stuff that, you know, guys used to be able to do. As it is, I have a hard enough time walking anymore. It hurts to walk some days. And, you know, honestly, the fingerprints on there actually worked for it. He kind of looks like he's got hair all over him. It's kind of a neat touch, isn't it? That's very nice. He literally does look like he's encased in fur. That is cool. That's one of those things when you're doing these things that, you know, you have an unexpected side effect. And ain't that just great? Now I'm probably going to have to wait until we get the rest of these done. I think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get our pen brush because reasons. Get an idea. I wasn't going to do it like this, but I'm going to do it like this because, just simply put, this looks so cool. I'm going to get me a nice bit of this paint. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to go ahead and paint the tusk a more solid color, just because it'll look cool. Now, yeah, mammoths can be told by those huge tusks. And they also had shorter trunks because, well, being cold and the trunk being a necessary tool, they didn't want it so long as to increase their body mass. It's also the same reason why their ears were smaller. And there you are, our little mammoth. Now we're gonna wait a little bit before we put him on the before we varnish him up and put him on a necklace, because I'm gonna try to do some of the others here while we're in the neighborhood. But we have this mammoth. Put him over here on the tray. Let him do his drying bit. Let's see who we grab now. Dimetrodon. Now I'm not sure what color I'm gonna go with. So let's see what we got. We'll make him purple. A purple Dimetrodon. That just sounds like a great idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the Concord grape out here. We're going to go back to this kind of a short, stubby brush, or one like it. Wipe it down, get all the water off of it, and we're going to get ourselves some of this purple, kind of a dark purple paint. Come up here, just kind of, now you could use a piece of paper for this too, which I may end up doing. But what you're going to do is you're going to come up here and you're going to do this, because likewise with him, you're going to want to get the individual ribs and the spines of his sail back. You're going to want them to be seen. Trying to see if I've got a... that'll work. I'm just going to tear off. I got a piece of an old light bulb box laying right here. I'm just going to use it. And I'm going to use that for my dry brush, so that we can get this done here. And it's not going to be left this dark purple. Because right now, like I said, it's Concord grape. We're not really wanting this thing to be Concord grape in color. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here. We're just going to kind of go over it. This brush is a little too stiff. Let me see if I can get a better brush out of this. That might work. We'll try this one. It's not in the best of shape, but we'll see if this brush can get one last hoorah. Alright. Let's see if we can do something with this. Alright, we're back. I had to change the battery out. Seems we have to do that quite a bit. Now, let's get our... So we're right back where we started here. Well, not all the way back, but back enough. Now, yeah, it's sometimes very difficult, because I worked in the factory for the last 15 years. So, I'm having to get used to a new role in my life, man. And it's not as easy as it sounds. But it has to be done. Now, roll him over. A little more of this paint, not too much. Dry brush it across his underside. So what we're going to do, my cousin taught me this method, you know, many years ago, and it's still probably the best method going for painting my kind of sculpture. Alright, now here's where we're at with that. And I'm pretty sure that's the wife's cell phone going off. I'll plug it in before I go to bed. Alright, we got the Concord grape on our Dimitrodon here. And now, where is my... I brought some lavender paint out, I know I did. Don't you hate when you can't find what you're looking for? Ah, there we are. A little petunia purple. I'm going to go over it with that now. And probably not to the same degree, and that was just bizarre. Look at this. That's messed up. Look at this. This was supposed to be a new container of paint too. That is unacceptable. Come on, guys. You're better than this. Look at that. That is a bunch of wasted money. That's what that is. Let's see how far that in that goes. That paint is completely dry through and through. There's one just... That's just sad. That is just a waste of money. That's what that is. Look at that. Just look at it. Ain't that just sad? I don't know why it dried up. Well, we have a plan B, so don't worry too much about that. What did I do with that Concord grape? Here we are. Let's move him over here for a minute. Didn't want to have to do it this way, but we're going to do it this way. Bottle cap. I want to add a little bit of purple paint and add a little bit of this white paint. I don't want to get the two mixed, so there we go. Now, clean my brush. That is just disappointing. That should not have done that. That's a new bottle, that too. That's just sad. I don't know about you, but that just makes me sad all over. Alright. Get this paint good and mixed. And as you can see, we made ourselves a nice lavender coat now. I'm kind of wanting like a powdered type color here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over him like this. Now, it's interesting to note, neither of these two creatures here are dinosaurs. The woolly mammoth lived in the Ice Age after the dinosaurs. And Dimetrodon here was a pelcosaur. And he lived, also known by the way as a mammal-like reptile. Maybe even had like whiskers or something. And he lived before the dinosaurs. I mean, like way before the dinosaurs. Like he was in the Paleozoic. The dinosaurs are in the Mesozoic. It's kind of interesting. And yet, you cannot have a dinosaur playset without Dimetrodon. Even though he's got more in common with mammals than he ever did with reptiles. It's kind of neat. And these guys, about the size of a Komodo dragon, more or less. The name means teeth of different sizes because they had very specialized teeth. Had very, very specialized teeth. Now, because see, he has this like this overbite where he had some teeth that were in the front that were designed for shearing and some of it designed for cutting and just all sorts of things. Alright. Now, set that over here. Wash my brush off. And let's look at the next one. I'm going to do 3 of these tonight, so we're going to do one more. See what I got. Okay. Alright. Triceratops. And what color are we going to do him in? I think we're going to go with a blue. And I'll tell you what, I'll be right back. I'm going to get some navy. Get some navy blue and grab some of the other colors we're going to need here. I don't think I got any dark blue in this. I'll be right back. Alright, I had an idea in the middle of this project. I went to go get the navy blue paint. And I found this ice blue that we used for another project. Now, what I'm thinking is I'm going to paint him ice blue. Give him a bit of a sparkly sort of look. So let's shake up this paint. I also found this, which I wished I'd found before I found that rather ratted out petunia pink. Or petunia purple that had gone off on us. That's the problem with some of these paints, is they do have a shelf life. Now, let's open this up and see what we got here. I'll have to got this. There we go. There's a piece of plastic. It's keeping my flap from coming down. Alright, we're going to go over it. I may end up doing a little dark blue underneath it anyway, just to kind of give it a little contrast before we start in with the ice blue. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a little navy blue, or real blue, as they call it here. And I may have to get just a hint of it here. Let me shake this up. And we'll put a little bit on right here, as you can see. Now, get my paint rag here. Now, get ourselves a nice brush to paint with here. That's a fine point brush. You don't want a fine point brush. Alright. Alright. I think we got our little wedge brush, even though he's gotten a little bit roached out here. Now we're going for the Triceratops. Now this is the first actual dinosaur that we've painted here. The mammoth, like I said, being a Ice Age mammal, relative of elephants, but you probably already knew that. And the Dimetrodon being a pelcosaur or a mammal-like reptile. And a denizen of the Paleozoic. Now, Triceratops, his name means three-horn face. And it is actually a little unclear as to what that frill was used for. It's really a little bit delicate to be using for defense. He's not going to use it to block anybody from biting him because it was a frill. It was like a little pie crust. But it was not so. I'll have to let this one. I'm probably going to end up having. I may do a fourth one because I'm going to have to let this one dry before I can apply the next coat. This paint is thick and it's going to take a little while to dry. And I probably have to repaint the tail anyway. So we'll let him dry over here to himself while we grab the next one. I think that's Kid Mads. She wanted to paint that one herself. Alright, Stegosaurus. Now, as I said, we're going to paint him kind of a green, so what I'm doing now is I'm going to fold this up so as to keep the blue paint from contaminating what I'm doing. Now, where is that dark green? Ah, here we are. We're going to start with a little real green, which is the dark green. And now, I did not paint him good underneath, so I'm going to have to hit him probably underneath pretty good, which is okay. Got our brush. Let's clean this brush off, because underneath it's not going to be as seen, especially when you put this thing on a necklace like I intend to do. So let's get some of this excess off. Move this over here. Clean this off. This brush is a little bit too stiff. That's not going to work. I need a brush that's not going to be as stiff. There we go. We'll just go back to the one I just got through with. Let's clean him off so we don't contaminate. If I wanted him to be blue-green, I'd paint him blue-green. Alright. So, we're going to go underneath here. And we're going to hit it up. Remember I told you how it was going to bleed through if you're not careful? Well, see, this is what it's doing here. Pardon me, I must have got a bit of a stuffy throat today. So, we're going to go ahead and just paint him solid, and then we'll let him dry because we're going to go over him with another color. Now this is Stegosaurus, and he's in the Jurassic. They lived in North America. I think they found some in Europe, and they found them in Africa and Asia. So they're pretty widespread, the different members of that family. They're an interesting creature because they had a little tiny brain. and it was once posited that they had an extra brain in their rear end. The plates, like so many other things about the age of dinosaurs, are a bit of a mystery, because we don't know if they were used for display. They certainly weren't used for defense, because they were filled with blood vessels and they were just too thin to defend themselves with. Tell you what, guys, we're going to let this one ride, and I'll let these guys dry, and then we'll work some more on them in the morning. This is Dr. Von Mad. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified. And don't forget to follow us on social media, Facebook, Pinterest, and Patreon. And thank you guys for watching again. God bless y'all, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Bye-bye.